right, here's a little video for you on how the hip clip works. Now the hip clip comes in a little bag with its instructions, and you're going to get these three parts. This is the main body of the clip, spring loaded. Then you got your back belt clip. That's going to go on so you can just wear it on a regular pants with a belt. And then here's the Pro back clip, and this locks onto a 2-inch nylon belt. And here is a 2-inch nylon belt. So if you're a professional window cleaner, or if you're using this on a dedicated belt, what you first do is lock it into the bottom or slide it into the bottom. Then you kind of bow the strapping and it slides right in there to the top. Okay, so here you can see that it locks into the bottom where the bottom of the clip is, and then on the top it's going to pressure lock in here. This is a little hard to do just with your fingers, so you want to put it on a hard surface, push down, and that has locked it into place. To take it off, it's kind of spring loaded now because it's under pressure, so just hold on to the sides, push right there, and it's going to detach. So lock it on the bottom, push it right there, lock, you can hear it snap. Now when it's on the belt, you can slide it side to side for positioning, but if you have the correct belt, it's going to be nice and tight, and it's going to stay right there for life. If you use this as a professional window cleaner, you can do this. But if you want to lock it into place securely, we've given you holes here that align with the holes inside the main body. And what you're going to want to do to transfer these holes over is get basically like a nail. The screws are included in the kit, but you want to get a nail and heat it up with a lighter or a propane torch. Transfer right there in the center a little hole. If you want to use all three, do it with all three, but you can get away with just one. Anywhere you can put one. And then slide it out of the way, finish off the hole just like these other holes are finished off, and a regular nail works perfect for this. Just heat it up and slide it through there. It cauterizes it because this is a plastic web. Push it back into place, screw your screw in there, and you're good to go. So you can use the hip clip for whatever the heck you want to use it for. If you want to hold, you can hold anything in it. It's just a clip. Grab a screwdriver in there, put a roll of tape, whatever you want. But obviously it's made for professional window cleaners. And the way that it works is you're pushing your palm straight into your body, not twisting. A lot of people try to do this and twist up against their body. You don't want to do that. You want to push straight into your body. Let me do it so the light's on it. Straight into your body, and then you're pushing your fingers up in real quick. So it's just like that. I grab my glove. Just like that. Now I'm not used to doing it left-handed, but there's no problem. And all it's doing is it's grabbing the fibers of the towel. So once you get any part of the towel in there, you're good to go. And that's the reason the hip clip is just faster than anything else out there. You don't have to monkey around with trying to put something in a ring or in a slot or in your pocket. Probably the only thing faster than a hip clip is over your shoulder, the original method. So there it goes. And here's the main thing to know about the hip clips, and the main problem that ever happens with the hip clips is if you try to do this and stick this in a hip clip. This is never going to work. I mean, it kind of does work. It will do it. But 9 times out of 10, a guy will hit it with too much force, bend this thing back like crazy, and snap it. I mean, it's only plastic. If you really try hard enough, you can break it. But it is very strong, injection molded ABS plastic. So all you have to do, me personally, my favorite is 2-ply. So that's the towel folded over twice. It's hard to do single-ply, but you can do 4-ply, no problem as well. That's quick as well. So that's the way it works. And when it's on your body, you're going to have this strap to your body. You're going to have a lot of leverage against it. So you're just pushing with your palm and going in like that, and it's super fast. As the towels get wetter, they get a little thinner. You have to modify a little bit. I've even in the past, just hung a towel over it if I got a really soaking wet towel, but I'm still not ready to get rid of it. Now, the rod sticking out right here, sometimes people think, well, that they didn't get the measurement right on that. No, that's for disassembly of the hip clip. You grab right here, you put a little bit of pressure, and you can easily pull the pivot bar out. The reason that we made it like that, there's the spring. The reason we made it like that is if you want to preload the spring, you can put washers. I believe they're indicated in the instructions, the type. You can go to the hardware store, drop 1 or 2 washers in there if you want this super powerful clip, and that will preload it. Putting it back together takes a little bit more patience. You got to find the hole there, kind of pressurize it. There it is. Not too bad. But you got to make sure you get it, because this thing's under spring pressure. If you don't get that in there right and start using it, you know, start flinging the top off. Now, every once in a while, over a long amount of use, sometimes this thing will try to wiggle its way out. If you find that happening, you know, just push it back in. Not a big deal. So once again, let's take it off the belt. Real easy to do off these belts because of the pressure. I'll put that aside. Now, if you want to use it on your pants, whoop, just grab the back for a belt. Now on a regular belt, this is going to flex. It's all been kind of measured out. It goes onto a regular pants belt just perfectly. You're going to grab the sides like this. I basically do it like this. Let the belt grab that, and I'll show you on this one. Pretend this is a pants belt. You're letting that overlap lip grab it, and then it's going to slide onto a pants belt just right and come right back off. And it's real strong. Once again, be careful not to go do something crazy like try to put this on a, you know, super thick board, 3/8 board or something like that. You know, you will crack it and break it. It's only plastic. It works perfectly, and we've had them last, you know, 5 years easily under normal use. It's good, strong ABS. So there you go. There's the 3 parts of the hip clip. It will last you season after season, no problem, if you use it correctly. Don't overstress the spring. And the only thing you have to worry about with plastic components is I wouldn't leave this on the dash of a car in a really hot climate, you know, Phoenix, Arizona or something like that, and you leave this in there at 120 degrees. Any plastic is going to degrade quickly under those conditions, and or even cause a little warping if you get really, you know, in a really super hot situation. It's plastic under spring pressure. Also, extreme cold is also kind of hard on plastics, so particularly in that kind of condition, if you're using this, it's in the snow or something, and you go to flex this, you do have to be careful, because plastics are not crazy about being frozen and then flexed. So under 99% of conditions, no problem at all. I myself personally have had 3 of these on my belt for going on 4 years. Thanks for watching. Okay, now here's the setup for the hip clips on a belt. This is the way I use it personally for my professional setup, is 3 hip clips. You got 1, 2, 3. Now, what's going on here is the first towel is for wiping up that first water coming down to the bottom edge of the window, maybe the edges, anything else you want to do, kind of the dirtier, wetter stuff. That's on your far right. Maybe it's on your left if you're left-handed. I don't know. The second one is you probably don't touch that bottom. You just do the sides, maybe even do the top. And then the third one is, obviously it's the cleanest one, so you can kind of almost blindly hit areas. You almost never hit the bottom because you're trying to keep this as clean as possible. Now what happens, each time I use the clip, I'm just in this mode. Even if you bunched it up using it on a window, I always let it drop out and put it in. That gives you a kind of a thin ply to grab onto. As long as you let them drop out, you can put them back on instantly. And it really is, it's that motion of pushing in towards you with your finger coming up. It's just so fast. You're gonna miss it sometimes, you know, especially if you're trying to show off, you know, girls walking by, what have you. But then this first towel will get really wet. Eventually, me personally, I start hanging it right here because it's already wet on my wet equipment. I'm getting ready to go back and put it into my truck. Then what I do is I transfer these over, I go to the truck, I get a brand new towel, put it on my new position. This way you always have, you're going to cleanest. So if you think, like I say, you can almost look blind up towards the top of a window. If you think maybe there's a streak there, you're hitting it with a fresh, clean towel, you know, and I'm kind of shaking them out and linting them. Now, one note on that for hip clip users, that towels are an integral part of this system. There are guys out there that wash windows without towels. I personally don't even know that system, because even if I could wash a window without a towel, which many times I do on the right setup, you know, the window's not too dirty, it responds correctly because all glass is different and it will squeegee different. So sometimes I'm able to walk away and not even mess with it. I happen to be a perfectionist, so I don't like to leave even that one water line along the edge. But for the most part, what I'm doing with my towels is also cleaning up the bottom area, and there's just no way you're ever going to get away with just walking away from, you know, all the water that comes down. It might get on a sill, get on the wall. And then there's so many other things. I can't even go into them, but I just use up towels like crazy because I'm cleaning up all around me as well. I'm not just washing the window, I'm doing a good job on the entire casement and all that. And I personally can't think of a better way other than towels. And the hip clips is a great way to just have them handy. I'm personally not crazy about looking like towel guy, but it's the fastest way to get your job done efficiently, quickly, and perfectly. So just on that as well, the key thing is these towels, as they come from the catalogs, are good, but they're not good enough. They still are not opened up enough. So if you happen to be just getting into this and you get some towels, they're the Magic Blue towels. They say they're pre-washed, and they are, but they're not working quite yet. They need about another good 50 washings, I would almost say. So I always have kind of a catalog of towels that are in their working state, and when I get new towels, I keep them as that fresh new towel. Sometimes I don't even put them all the way through the system. I use them once or twice, and I keep getting them back in there and washing them until they loosen up and they become literally towel sponges. Now, these towels, it's kind of probably hard to see on the video, but you can see it's looking a little bit old and rough. You can see how it's separated. This towel is in the perfect shape. It's almost ready to fall apart, and it's absolutely perfect. So obviously you're not wiping across the middle of windows and, you know, creating trouble for yourself. You're only hitting edges and stuff like that. But these do the job instantly. They don't just push water around. So you have to know and understand, for the hip clip system, the correct towels are the final piece to the puzzle that makes these work perfectly. So there you go.